Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. Today we're going to be having a look at another G.I. Joe classified series figures. Of course, this is not one of the latest ones who has come out because this one is from 2023. So, of course, this is G.I. Joe Shipwreck. He is number 70 in the G.I. Joe classified line. And of course, we're going to be talking about the history of this figure. Do I think it's a collectible item? And do I believe this is a good figure or not, or what could be done to improve it? So, without further ado, we're going to be quickly skipping on the box because you all know that I hate this box over here. I do not understand why Hasbro did it, and this BS about ecology was a bit crappy because, I mean, most of the people who are buying them are not kids. We know that it's all grown-up kids like us who are buying these figures. So, of course, you have the basic information where you have some pictures of the figure himself, you're going to have some height, you're going to have the different accessories that he comes with a bunch of descriptions of his new military, of course, specialty, QR code that opens you to an old website that is not at all up to date with some Hasbro products, so that's again a bit of a waste of time and a bit silly that Hasbro is not doing something better for it. Of course, these boxes do not exist or have been moved away, so that's a good thing. So anyway, let's dive into the history of Shipwreck. Now, of course, we're going to be going on to my figure, the original figure that I had back in the day. So I'm going to have a little bit less light around over here. We'll course correct it afterwards because we don't want any reflection on the bubble. So, of course, this is Shipwreck from 1985. So, yes, I did have this figure because he did come out in Europe. I also have the Japanese version of him, but he's back in storage. And I did some pictures on my Facebook group. So if you want to go and check them out to be able to have, I do that as a bit of an archive so that you can go and check it out. As you can see, this figure is pretty nice and was a pretty good success. Now, this figure, if you want, had a bit of a difficult history. Because if you look in the comic books, he is not doing much. As a figure, they're using him a bit. He seems to be a bit grumpy. You see him appear, but our friend, what's his name now? Oh, I have it on the top of my tongue. Larry Hama didn't use him much. And if you watch the cartoon, you will see that he does have a bit more interaction. He's some kind of seesaw dog, and they meet him. I think it's with Flint and Mutt. I'm not the biggest cartoon fan, but I did enjoy some episodes. And he was a bit like the joke, and he's trying to run after Lady J, who is kind of pissing off Flint. Anyway, so of course, we have the different accessories. As you can see, he also has a double Flint gun with a laser beam on it, or a laser visor. So yeah, that's a bit weird, but okay. I mean, this is something that was kind of popular, maybe, or trying to do something about it. Now we also have his parrot, who's called Polly, who's surprising that they didn't put it. So here we are going to be turning around. Something that is seriously missing with the new G.I. Joe figures is the file card. Now, of course, sadly, due to the fact that the US Army has put copyrights all over the place, you cannot call him Navy, or you might not be able to call him Navy SEAL. This is the reason why all the former US Marine Corps figures are not having their Marine logos on. So yeah, and that means sadly we're never going to see the Gung Ho 2.0. Anyway, let's get back into the history of this figure. If you want to do a pose, I've shown you a little bit his file card. So yeah, this is him. And then afterwards, of course, we also have the version from the 25th anniversary line. So, of course, this one has a little code over here. It's because I have a whole bunch of them up for sale on my Facebook page. So if you're in Europe and you missed out on some of them, you can go and check it out. Give some extra deals and some extra discount depending on the number of figures you order. So go and check it out. It can be really interesting. So, of course, this one came out in 2007. There was 3 different kind of versions, if you want, of the figure. So you would have over here, it's, let's see if we can see it. Oh, that's going to be hard to... Okay, so you see he has an anchor tattoo. So there's another one, a tattoo. Then he has also a printing on his belt, who is not on all of the figures. So yeah, it's this makes it a bit high-end collectible. So I think I do have both versions of it. I don't remember about the belt, but I do have a whole bunch of them, so I'll have to go through them. But if you want to go and check out on Facebook, you can really zoom in into the pictures, because I did some high resolution pictures, so you can enjoy it. So of course you do see that he does come with poly. He does have a pistol, does have a small machine gun, and he gave him a little shotgun, who's a kind of a nice add-on. Now, when I was talking about that they didn't really know what to do with it, at the end of the G.I. Joe Real American Hero line in 1994, we got, of course, Shipwreck came back for his Ultimate One, where he became a Navy SEAL. So I guess this is something that would make sense due to the fact that G.I. Joe is supposed to be a Tier 1 operator if you follow the comic books, or even if you follow the cartoon. They say that G.I. Joe is a highly elite military trained force. So yeah, so it makes sense that you would have a Navy SEAL joining the G.I. Joe ranks. So yes, this is a bit of a shame that they didn't go from the beginning. Another little point before we jump into what we get in the box. I do find it very funny how they put the different pictures of the figure, or maybe put a picture behind and insert the figure on it. But I mean, what the hell is this bicycle doing over here? This has no sense at all when there's a whole bunch of missiles being launched by the submarine, I guess. So yeah, that's a bit weird that Hasbro left that, but I do like the drawing over here. Reminds me some of the art from Romita Jr. I do have some Punishers drawn by him, and I really like the look of it. So it's a bit of a shame that they didn't go a bit more with that. Anyway, with further ado, let's get into what we get in the box. So of course we get Shipwreck over here. As you will be able to see, we do get a few little accessories. I have one of the accessories who is directly on the figure, who has his pistol over here, who is in the holster. Then we have the rope over here with a little hook. Then we have the hat on his hair, because let's say he does have a lot of hair going for him. Then we have the hook, it's a bit different than the original. We have a kind of a flint gun over here, and then of course we do have Polly the Parrot. So yeah, it's a pretty well loaded box. Now let's take a closer look at our guy over here. So of course you can see they did a pretty good job with the head sculpt, even for a figure who came out in 2023. I mean, they really did a pretty good job on it. I like the fact that he has some hair on his chest that makes it really interesting. We have some different tattoos. So of course, compared to the original one here, let's see if we can zoom in. We have the logo of the Navy over here. I guess they might have changed it a bit due to the fact of the copyright. But we have one over here and over here. Let's try to get a bit of zoom. Sorry about it. Okay, come on. Okay, so that doesn't want to work. So yes, so he does have a fish over here, and of course the same emblem over here. So yeah, the figure itself is pretty well detailed. Like I said, I like the fact that you can interchange and keep on the cap over here. So if you want to make him look like he looked in on the original line, so yeah, you can really do it. It does look pretty nice. He does have his belt with different places to attach all his gear. And of course, if you notice over here, you have a little hole over here. Oh, I nearly got it. Okay, so you have the hole over there. The camera has a bit of problem defining where it should zoom in. So you have the little hole here so that you can insert the parrot on his arm and to put it up, holding like this. But this is something same as Spirit. The arm doesn't spin around, so he's kind of hanging in there, and I'm not going to say he's nailed in. He's not nailed to his perch. If you're a Monty Python fan, you will know what I'm talking about. The parrot nailed to its perch. So yeah, that's something who's a bit shame, but still gives for some kind of cool poses if you want to really do it. So of course you're going to be putting the pistol over here, then we're going to go into putting his pistol in here, and then this will be going over here. Sorry. And oh, can I do it? Yeah, it's going to be a bit hard. Let's remove his hair, and also let's put it in over here, and then afterwards you can decide if you want to leave the hook on over here or put it over here. As you can see, there's another little hole over here, so if you want to do like the original version of it, and if you want to put Polly on his shoulders a bit like the original one, you can do it. So yeah, it's a pretty neat figure. Now that we have looked at what we get in the box, let's talk about, is this a collectible item, and what do my thoughts about it, and also my final thoughts and note on this figure. So let's start by the collectible value of this figure. Now, do I think it has a certain collectible value? Yeah, I do think so, due to the fact that this figure is pretty loved by the collectors. So yeah, and he is pretty neat with all the accessories he comes with. Now, of course, Hasbro hasn't launched him in the retro line, so this is something that may be coming down. I guess he might have some lighter blue on his uniform. They might do a few little changes where he might not have, will have only one tattoo, or maybe no tattoos at all, and they will give you some kind of little decalcs to put it on if they wanted to give you the two possibilities of having different tattoos on. I don't know, that's pure speculation on my behalf, but knowing Hasbro and their need of money, I guess we're going to get one printed tattoo and maybe more brighter colors to the figure. So of course, like it's not a deluxe figure, there should be no problems about it. So if you missed out, you may want to wait for the retro one to come out, because that one will be coming out sooner or later. I trust Hasbro is trying to milk as much as they can this line. Well, they're not the worst at it. Super 7 and Loyal Subjects are even worse than them. Anyway, that's going to be for another video later on today at the for the Comic-Con stuff. But yeah, I do think that this figure does have a certain collectible attray to it, and does hold a pretty good price on the secondary market. So if you can get him, if you didn't get him, really pick him up. He's really worth it. It's a pretty good figure. Now that we have determined what is its value as a collectible item, let's go into my final thoughts about this figure. Now, when I'm looking at this figure, I really do like what they did. I do think it's a bit of a shame, the fact that we're getting, sorry about it, we're getting only, well, I have to do some cleaning here, but on the lens, because it looks like it has a bit of a problem focusing over here. So as you can see, there's no extra pour, so it has a peg and he's switched in. For some 6 scale, for 6-inch figures, this is pretty bad as an item. And also, if I'm looking at the figure itself, I do like what they did, but I do kind of like the fact that they didn't give him some an extra rifle, maybe give him a laser rifle, this XM laser rifle that all the guys had in the cartoons. But otherwise, there could be a little other part that I would have not mind to have, would be to have an independent navy cap over here, not to have it directly attached to the hair, but that's, let's say, being nitpicky. So that's the reason I'm going to give this figure an 8 out of 10. Of course, the box doesn't come into play because otherwise the note would be lower, but I believe this figure is a pretty decent figure, and 8 out of 10 is a pretty good note for this figure. So that's going to be it for my review of Shipwreck from the G.I. Joe Classified line. If you like this kind of videos, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. Do you have him? Do you don't have him? Please let me know. This is something that I'm kind of really curious to know. And let's talk about our passion in the comment section. You can go and check out, I have some cool pictures I've posted on Facebook, Instagram. I'm not using that one much anymore. But if you want to go and check out the pictures, go to the Facebook page. The links will be in the description of this video. Also, subscribe to the channel, it does help out a lot. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!